So when I was younger, I used to suffer from the fat whore syndrome, right? And I know that's harsh, but that's exactly what it was. It was the fat whore syndrome. And what the fat whore syndrome is when you feel like somehow you are less valuable than other people. And as a result, you discount yourself to others. So what happened was that I ended up giving myself to a lot of young boys and a lot of young men that couldn't value what I was giving to them. And it made me angry. And I blamed them in the beginning until I realized that I could take my power back. And I realized that I could demand my self worth. And as I started to progress through life, I became an attorney and I started to feel like I was getting my self worth back. And what happened was really in reality was that I started to have fat horse syndrome all over again. Because when I started my own law firm, everybody was really secretive about how much they charge for services. And I felt like, okay, well, I'm new to the business. I can get a lot of clients to build my client base if I offered discounted services. But as my years started to accumulate and my experience started to accumulate, I didn't want to discount my services anymore. And what happened when I started to count my services is that my client base started to drop. And I was confused because I wasn't charging higher than what other people were charging. I just stopped giving discounts. So I went back to my client base and I asked them, I said, okay, well, why aren't you using my services? And half of them were like, well, you're too expensive, you're too high. So I said, okay. But keep in mind, at the time, I was a bankruptcy attorney. So it's not that they didn't need the service and they could just go without it. They were just going to the bankruptcy attorney down the street who was charging them the same amount or that was charging them more. Right. So the other half was like, well, I thought you should have discounted your services. So what I realized is that I was creating a standard for my customers. I created the standard of what they valued my services at, right? So my current customers, they were used to me giving discounts and they refused to pay anything beyond the original discount that I was giving them. And my new leads, my new potential customers, they felt like they saw, a young black woman, and they felt like, hey, if I wanted to pay full price, then I would have went to the white man down the street, right? So that concerned me. And then I realized that it wasn't their fault. It was my fault. I was discounting myself. And now in retrospect with 2020 vision, I look at a lot of other entrepreneurs and I see a lot of entrepreneurs that still have the fat whore syndrome, the fat whore complex. And it doesn't matter whether they're a man or they're female or they're black or white or they're thick, curvy, or they're thin and lean, they still have the fat horse syndrome. What they're doing is that they're going out there and they're discounting their services, they're discounting their products, they're discounting their business for a lot less than what it's worth because they have this complex that's going on. And what that does is that the first thing that it does is that you create how you want the world to value you. If you give them your services, if you give them your business, if you give them your masterpiece at $1, they're only going to ever value that masterpiece at $1. They will never pay anything more than $1 that you initially charge them. Charge them more, then they'll start to get angry, right? And you don't want that. You don't want them undervaluing your business, and you don't want your customers to get angry. The second thing that it does is that once you start getting a certain amount of clients at a discounted price, you no longer are able to serve your clients to the utmost. What happens, and I saw this with a lot of my clients that I was dealing with, is that they would come in and now they're at the point where they're filing for bankruptcy. But well, a lot of times what will happen is that they are offering so many of their services at discounted prices that they didn't have the time. They didn't have the time to actually serve those clients. They give them a very little price. Now they have very little time to make them happy. And what happened is that the clients end up coming out under, and you start feeling like you're overwhelmed. So that's not good anymore. The third thing that happens is that they either don't buy from you at all or they buy from you in a very delayed way. How many times have you gone to the store and you saw something that you really, really like, maybe an outfit or a purse or whatever the case may be, and you say, you know what, I'm gonna wait until it goes on sale. right? That's what your clients are doing to you. They saw that previously you gave them a discount, and now they're like, you know what? I'm gonna wait until she goes on sale. I'm gonna wait until he goes on sale. I'm gonna wait until he discounts it, right? There's a lot of people that want your services. They want what you have to offer today. But because you have given them the indication that in the past you have given out discounts, they're just gonna wait around for your discount. They're not gonna buy right now. Don't give that discount either. They just let it go by the wayside, or they go to somebody else, or they forget about it later. And you're not served, and they're not served. You have to stop being the fat whore entrepreneur. You have to stop being the fat whore entrepreneur. Let your business and your clients and everybody around you know that you are no longer the fat whore entrepreneur. Now, the first way that you can stop discounting your service as a business is number one, you can start a business, right? Anytime you're working for somebody else, anytime you're working on the plantation, you're automatically discounting your services, because what you're communicating is that your worth is that 25, that 35, that $45 per hour that they're paying you. Now, time, money exchange for time, time is the only thing that you have that you will never be able to get back. It's the only commodity that you cannot get back once it has been spent. Even when I was working as an attorney at $400 an hour, I still never felt like my services were valued for what they was worth, because it still wasn't worth that time that I missed from my sons. It still wasn't worth the time that I missed from my own personal self-development. It still wasn't worth the time that I missed trying to take care of my health because I was spending midnight, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning working late. It wasn't worth my time. Even if you're spending $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 per hour, no matter what you charge, if you're exchanging time for money, it's not going to be worth it. How many times have you started a new job? Tell me, how many times have you started a new job? And when you first started that job, you was like, I am so excited. Lord bless me. This is awesome. I got this new job. I really love my job. I'm just so grateful. And then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months down the line, you're like, you know what? This job ain't even worth it. Oh, they don't pay me enough for this. They don't pay me enough for that. It's because anytime you're exchanging that time for money, it's never going to be worth it. So the first thing you can do to demand your worth and create your own price tag is to create your own business. Now, the second thing that you can do to make sure that you're not discounting your business and discounting your self-worth is to state your authority. Make yourself an authority figure. Right? What that does is you're telling your clients, you're telling your customers that your product or service is 10 times better than your competitor. And because we're 10 times better than our competitors, this is why you're paying this rate. You're saying to your clients and your customers, I know 10 times more than my competitors know. I know 10 times more. I have 10 times more knowledge. So as a result, you're going to get a better product, you're going to get a better service, and you're going to get more information about what it is that you're trying to buy. And if they know that you are an authority and a figure, and they understand why they're paying more, then they'll be more than happy to pay the price on your price tag. The third thing that you can do to make sure that you're not discounting your business is to create a freebie or an opt-in. Now, I know what you're saying. You say, you know what, you just told me not to be, the fat whore entrepreneur, and now you're telling me to give it away for free. No, I'm not telling you to give away the whole cow for free. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that the reality is that we live in a world right now that likes to try before they buy. Yes, people are in the motion where they expect freebies. You can go on your Facebook timeline right now, scroll down, and you'll see at least 10 free offers from sponsors that are trying to give you an opt-in. You can go to YouTube right now, and you can Google or YouTube just about anything and learn how to do it for free if you have the time and the energy and the patience. But keep in mind, we just told you that time is a commodity. That's the only thing that you can't get back after you spend it. So you really, really need to be aware of what you're spending your time on. People are used to getting things for free. It's just a matter of how much time you want to spend in order to be able to get it for free. Now, there's nothing wrong with giving people free. Let them know, hey, I'm going to give you a little taste of what I am, of who I am, so that you know what you're about to get is going to be worth it. Now, if you don't want to give away a freebie or opt-in, you can also give away a guarantee, a money-back guarantee. So what this freebie, opt-in, money-back guarantee does is that it tells your clients, you know what, I am so confident in this service and this product, in the piece that I'm about to give you, that I'll give you a little taste for free, knowing that you're going to love it so much that you're going to come back and you're going to want to pay me. And when you do come back wanting to pay me, make sure you're ready to pay full price. They will more than welcome your full price tag, right? So those are three things that you can do. Three things that you can do to make sure that you stop discounting your business. And the fourth and one of the most powerful things that you can do is to make sure that you're going in with the mindset to serve. Make sure that you're going in with the mindset to over deliver on what you're about to offer. Because if your clients know that every time they come to you, that you over deliver, that you promise them one thing and you give them 10 times more than what you promised, then they're going to develop a reputation for you. So they're going to know that every time they come to you, they're going to get way more than their money worth. And again, they'll be more than likely to pay you double, triple what you charge them in the first place. So make sure that when you're going into this situation that you're over deliver on all your products and all your service, and your clients will always be happy. I promise you. Make sure that you follow those four things and stop discounting yourself, stop discounting your business, and stop being the fat whore entrepreneur, because you're worth so much more. There are people out there that are ready, they're willing to pay your full price. There's people out there that value you. They just are waiting for you to value yourself. And when you tell them how much you feel like your service or your product is worth, then they're willing to pay it. And they're willing to pay it right now. But you can't discount yourself before they even get a chance to take out their wallets. Right? Have you ever been in that situation where you're about to pay for something and they're like, oh, it's don't worry about it, and you're like, oh, okay, I'm not gonna pay for it, right? Let them take out their wallet. Let them pay you what you're worth. Stop being the fat whore entrepreneur. You tell the world that you are no longer the fat whore entrepreneur. And let me tell you why I'm telling you this. Because I have a mission. I have a mission to create at least and help at least five entrepreneurs to get to where they want to get in life within the next 7 days. That's my mission. And I want to make sure that I have at least 5,000 entrepreneurs that are making at least $5,000 more per month by the end of this year. That is my mission. I want to make sure that at least 5,000 entrepreneurs make at least $5,000 more per month by the end of this year. And 5 of those are going to be within the next week. That's my personal mission. Right. And the reason I say 5,000 is because that $50,000 to $60,000 mark, that's actually when you actually to start to get into your entrepreneurness and start to really understand what success is and how to develop it. You start to value yourself and you start to value your business. Ultimately, we want to get you to the 7 to 8 figure mark, but initially we're going to start you out at just an extra $5,000 per month. That's my goal. Right. When I was younger, when I was practicing law, when I was in law school, before law school or undergrad, I really didn't have the time to actually go out and help people. I didn't have the time or the resources to share my knowledge because I was always working. I was working to 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and I was miserable at the time. So I didn't have any time to make anybody else's life any less miserable. But now things are different. I'm knocking on that big 4-0 mark. Don't tell nobody, and at this point in my life, I want to serve. So bring at least 5,000 entrepreneurs into the light. Right now, I'm hosting a summit. It's an online summit. It's called Mini to Mogul. MINITOMOGUL. And it's a virtual online summit, and I'm doing it for absolutely free right now because I want to be able to make 5,000 entrepreneurs this year, at least get to that $5,000 per month. And at the Mini to Mogul Summit, you're going to be able to learn from 20 plus moguls that you have from Mini to Mogul. I didn't have anybody to tell me when I was younger. In fact, everybody kept it a secret because they felt like I was one of their competitors. I don't want you to feel that way. I don't want you to be in that position. I want you to have all the resources that you need in order to be able to grow and to develop your business. So I created the Mini to Mogul Summit so that you have the resources that you need and you have the mentorship and you can ask because it's live, right? You can ask away. You can ask them any question you want. How did they get to their mogulness? All you got to do is register online at www.mini2mogul.com, MINITOMOGUL. Register now, right? We only have a few seats available just because I don't have enough bandwidth for 10,000 people to participate, right? So once we get to our max, we get to our max. So make sure that you register ASAP. You get the insight, you get the knowledge. Plus, all of our speakers are giving away about $2,500 worth of freebies, goodies, opt-ins, awesome stuff that you're not going to want to miss out on. So come to the summit, learn, and bless the mogulness. Come and be a part of this mogulness, okay? Hopefully, I'll see you there, and we'll see you on the other side of mogulness.